Konnichi, what's up guys? The grass is burning, the air is so dry it's like sandpaper, and waking up in a pool of your own sweat can only mean one thing. It's summer! Which also means it's time for the next big Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling event, Summer Sun Princess 25. But before we run down the card of 9 matches, let's do some housekeeping on all the big events that occurred since Grand Princess. First is the unfortunate graduation of Yoshiko Hasegawa. Her road to retirement has been filled with matches as she wanted to face everyone on the TJPW roster before finishing, going up against Suzume for the international belt as well. Also bringing in Tai Hanma and Miyuki Takase for a special match at the last Inspiration show. She even managed to pick up the newly designed Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight Championship, holding it for an impressive 3 days before dropping it to Suzume, who then lost it to Miyu Watanabe, who then lost it to Mizuki, who then lost it to her own Pico Pico Hammer, as you do. Yoppie had only been wrestling since 2019, but I can feel the respect she garnered from the other wrestlers from all over Japan. Shoko praising her for her kindness towards younger wrestlers on the roster. I'm so sad to see Yoshiko leave wrestling. I was super excited when she first joined TJPW, but she unfortunately only had 11 months with the company. I thought she had a killer look, style, and presence in the ring, and I also thought she was really goddamn gorgeous. Oh well. Continuing on with retirement, we have an even more devastating one, and that is the retirement of Sayuri Namba. You wouldn't think a ring announcer leaving a company is that big a deal, but if you're not deep in TJPW lore, I cannot overstate how important Namba's presence was to the identity of TJPW. And the company knows it, giving her a show dedicated to her with Namba's dream come true, and then one final big send-off before she left for Canada. I don't want to give too much away about Namba because the whole ordeal has given me inspiration and motivation to make a video solely on the ring announcers of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Anyway, Namba's replacement, Risei Shirai, looks like she will keep the style of clothing that Namba wore of pretty punk casual type fashion. I would like her to create her own identity, but time will tell if this is now the standard uniform of ring announcers from now on in TJPW. More bad news, Haruna Neko is out on injury again with a torn ACL, which looks like it will take her out of action for a significant amount of time, which is a super bummer as she only just returned from a long absence from another injury last October. So I wish her a quick recovery. On some happier news, TJPW has been holding shows in America, in Las Vegas, which brought in a respectable 800 fans, but the big news was 3 consecutive shows they held last weekend. 2 in Houston, held in an American church, also known as a shopping mall. The venue actually looked really sick, seeing people watch from the upper floors and the staircase gave it a different feel than any other TJPW show I have seen. But the big one was in Dallas, where over 2,500 fans attended, which is freaking nuts. Pictures from the event looked amazing, and considering Supercard of Honor was a paltry, a tiny, a feeble, a measly, a small, a shit 1,500 fans is incredible. I hope that they can keep this momentum in the West and tour more regularly. And all you lucky fans who attended, I am so jealous of you and your branded TJPW cowboy hats. And as a special treat, Namba ring announced all 3 shows so American fans could say goodbye to her as well, which is really sweet. Namba has always gone the extra mile to make Western fans feel more included, and I should stop talking here and save it for the video. Anyway, to kick off, we have a tag match of Himawari and Ren Konatsu versus Shuna Suzuki and Uta Takahami. In the lead up to the Princess Cup, TJP's annual single elimination tournament, they have been holding a load of qualifying matches to see who from the lower card can be included, which I think is a great idea, as it fills cards with more meaningful singles matches for the more green wrestlers. And it also makes the tournament more prestigious, as those that make it into the tournament have shown their right to be there. One such case is Himawari, who qualified after beating Mifu Ashida and then shockingly Pom Harajuku. Himawari has a lot of momentum going on behind them, and I think she is due a big push in the coming year. Next is a special tag match of Andres Giant Panda and Raku versus Kyoko Inoue and Pom Harajuku. Originally, Pom was meant to be teaming with Max the Impaler for this tag match. Unfortunately, though, they will not be able to attend due to health reasons, and so will instead be teaming with legendary Joshi star Kyoko Inoue. Shockingly, Aja Kong is absent from this big event, which is unusual for a TJPW show of this scale, so we have another face-painted Joshi from the 90s. Unfortunately for Kyoko, she will be facing against Andrade, who is rated slightly higher than her according to Cage Match. Raku and Andrade have never teamed before. Their last meeting was last year's Grand Princess when Pom and her defeated the Beast. Raku's sleep powers were instrumental in that victory. With that no longer a factor, Pom and Kyoko have quite the uphill battle. After that, we have a tag match of Yuna Manase and Mihiro Kiryu and Kayotori Bami and Chika Nanase versus Wakana Uehara, Toga, Mifu Ishida, and Kira Summer. Of all the girls here, apart from Yuna Manase, she did not compete, only one made it through to the Princess Cup, that being Wakana Uehara, who beat her tag teammates Mifu Ishida and Kira Summer. Hopefully that will not affect their teamwork in any way. On the other team, the main highlight I want to make is Kayotori Bami, who, while did lose out in the final round to Moka Miyamoto to get into the Princess Cup, but she did have a recent championship bout for the MLW Featherweight Women's title against Shoko Nakajima. The match was incredibly good, really showing off Kaya's talents and skills. She unfortunately could not best the big kaiju, and then, as I said, lost her opportunity for the Princess Cup. There is a lot of wrestlers in this match with something to prove, I feel, and maybe just being on the winning team will not be enough, and getting the pin could shift momentum their way in the future. Then we have a special triple tag match of Yuki Kamifuku and Veni, or Asuka, not that one, versus Yuki Aino and Haru Kazushiro versus Arisa Endo and Jada Stone. Veni and Kamiyu are teaming once again, which is a welcome surprise. It is always super fun and super sexy to see them wrestle. Her last appearance was with Kamiyu at last year's Wrestle Princess, but since then has picked up the CWP tag titles and the Dream Championship. Kamiyu has been shuffling tag partners around a lot lately, it seems. She seems to have amicably broken up with Mihiro, now teaming with Wakana Uehara, going for the tag titles in Vegas but coming up short. It's also heartbreaking to know that Kamiyu is titleless, losing her Vietnamese and Singaporean titles within the same month, two belts she held collectively for over 900 days. Haru Kazushiro will be sure to take in a lot of experience from her senpais in this match. She won her 2 qualifying matches to the Princess Cup, taking out fellow countryman of myself, Ivy Steele, from the tournament. Jada Stone is back and I'm glad to see her. She has been a great find for TJPW and I think they know it too. She already has attempted to go for the international title twice now against Suzume and is now set to team with her tag partner Arisa Endo, who got into the final 2 in the 8-woman match that would decide the next challenger for the Princess title at this show. Winning this match could keep her momentum going strong. How many times can I say momentum? It's the word of the day. Next, we have a special tag match of El Desperado and Maki Ito versus Chris Brooks and Emi Sakura. I guess the Neo Ito Respect Army is no more. Need to go and burn all my old merch and get ready for El Ito Respect Army. Ito and El Desperado met in America during a GCW show and have since been communicating with the hopes of teaming up. Now they get their wish, but it seems no one told Despy he would need to learn the Ito Respect Army dance. Fortunately, Ito is a very patient and understanding teacher, and I'm sure a week's training is enough to get it down. But maybe all that dance practice may get in the way, as their opponents Emi Sakura and Chris Brooks are not known to take it easy when wrestling in Tej, always playing to win. Their match against Yuka, Sakazaki and Mizuki had me flinch as they brutalized Majirabi. I'm sure Chris will want to prove a point to Ito for replacing him with Despy, and Emi will just want to hurt someone, I'm sure. After that, we have a special singles match of Mio Yamashita versus Billy Starks. Billy Starks returns once again. Space Jesus has been wrestling in TJP since 2022 and always against big names in the company, like Yuka, Rika, and even Saki-sama. And for some of Tej's top prizes like the International and Princess of Princess Championship. At the Dallas show, Miyu and Vert Vixen teamed together against Billy Starks and Dark Yuka. And wait! Oh my god, I completely forgot. So, Yuka has a new look now. Dark Yuka, completely giving up the pretense of being the enjoy girl. I don't know if the wrestling world is ready for an even more sadistic Yuka. So, anyway, Yuka and Billy beat Yamashita and Vert Vixen at the Dallas show, so setting up the rematch. Yamashita has been on one of her little tour excursions since Vegas, going around in high-profile matches representing the company. Having some high-profile matches and, high-profile losses. Losses against Toni Storm, Masha Slamovich, Mina Shirakawa, and yes, Billy Stark's included in a singles match at the GCW show. Now Yamashita has a chance to right that wrong on her own turf in her domain. Then we have your International Princess Championship match. It's champion Suzume versus challenger Moka Miyamoto. At the Spring Tour Shinagawa show, Moka shocked us all by pinning International Princess Champion Suzume. As is her right, she challenged Suzume immediately for a match at SummerSlam Princess for the belt. Moka admitted that she has gone for the belt many times before, but has always eluded her. Suzume fired up, accepted her challenge, but told her that upon every defense the belt becomes more and more precious to her, and harder for it to be taken from her. But this might be Moka's best chance yet. She is not one but two pins over Suzume at the moment, the most recent one being in Houston, pinning her with the same move that got her the championship opportunity. In the press conference leading up to the match, Moka stated that her previous failures for the IP belt have not deterred her but motivated her, and that before she felt frustrated that the class of '99 has been surpassing her, but now she is ready to move forward and take the belt. But Suzume explains that it was because of Moka challenging for the belt all those times, it gave her the motivation to challenge and win it herself. She reflected on the change she made since debut, how she was more like a honeybee in the beginning, but has now changed into a hornet, and summer is the season for hornets. To be candid, I do worry what will happen to Moka if she loses this match. It will be her third failure for it, and will that be it for her, and she settles in the lower echelons of TJ, while Suzume, Arisu and Arai continue marching on without her? Then we have your Princess Tag Team Championship match. It's Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao Kyakyomi Kyomei versus Rika Tatsumi and Miya Watanabe of Daydream. At Grand Princess, dreams finally came true. Shoko and Misao finally obtained Tag Gold, or Pink rather. They managed to defeat 1-2-million for the Princess Tag titles, a championship that they have been chasing for over 5 years now. An incredible journey that had Misao put the punctuation mark on it with a Vanitas to Yamashita for the win. Riding high on 2 title defenses after Shoko defended her MLW championship against Kaya Toribami, she brought Misao in to address the crowd as tag team champions. Misao has been recovering from a minor injury at the time, so was fired up to return and defend the belts immediately. But just then, Rika and Watanabe entered the ring wielding Sasumatas, a capturing tool dating back to samurai times, trapping Misao and Shoko between them. The two demanded a championship match to the trapped champs, Shoko complaining that everyone thought Daydream had broken up. But that is just what they wanted you to think. Daydream skipped this year's Max Heart tournament that Misao and Shoko ended up winning, but Shoko and Misao always felt there was unfinished business, that something was missing from that tournament, and it was them facing Daydream in it. They now have that chance, so Shoko was quick to accept the challenge. Daydream had beaten them previously before in the Max Heart tournament and for the Princess titles. Their rivalry dates back to 2020, the first SummerSlam Princess, where Daydream and Kyakyo Kyomei first clashed. And let's not forget, Daydream formed by beating Misao in her Bishkigun form and taking away her tag title as before, the only championship Misao has ever had, up until now. So, could that happen again, even now that Misao has found her true strength with Shoko? In matches the four have been in together, Daydream have been bringing the Sasumatas as a way to gain the upper hand. They will no doubt play a part in the championship match, but let's not forget that Misao and Shoko have tricks of their own. At the press conference, Misao and Shoko both agreed that they felt relief that they are finally facing Daydream, and that hopefully after putting this to rest they can focus on what they really want to do with the tag titles, which is to have Rojo street matches with them in unconventional places. Daydream also reinforced that their split was mutual and not in fact a breakup, that the two were in fact recharging so that when they did return as Daydream, they would be that much stronger. and that Misao and Shoko should be worried as currently Daydream has the edge over them when it comes to wins and losses. Finally, it's time for your main event for the Princess of Princess Championship match. It's champion Mizuki versus challenger Yuki Arai, after Grand Princess Yuki Arai finally graduated. No, not from pro wrestling, silly, from her idol duties with SKE48. Now fully focused on wrestling, Yuki Arai won the #1 Contenders Battle Royale against Ito, Arisu, the other two Yukis, Watanabe, Palm, and Jada Stone. Even though she gained the right, she still asked Mizuki for permission to challenge for the belt. Of course, Mizuki accepted, and out of all the other competitors in the match, knew it would be Arai that would win and challenge for the belt. At the press conference, comments were made from Arai that juggling her idol responsibilities on top of her wrestling commitments were a struggle, how she felt a step behind her generation. But now she can focus purely on this match. It will be the first time that she has gone for the Princess title, and she earned it, so she has confidence going in. Winning this belt would also mark her as a Grand Slam champion, and taking into account her record-breaking international defense, she had big momentum going in. There's momentum again! Mizuki acknowledges Arai's momentum, there fucking is again, and how different she feels to when Mizuki felt when she challenged for the Princess title her first time. She admits that she was scared of Arai for that, but has now conquered that fear. But Mizuki may have spoken too soon, as in one of my favourite match types, All Champs vs All Challengers, Yuki Arai was able to hit the finally on Mizuki and get the pin, pinning the champion and perhaps delivering a preview of how the match at SummerSlam Princess will go. SummerSlam Princess will stream live on Wrestle Universe on Monday, of all days, 21st of July, with English commentary provided by Haku-san and Belly Inaki. At Grand Princess Yuki Kamifuku, Kira Summer and Ivy Steele joined on commentary throughout the show, and it was nice to hear their insights, and that seems to be a recurring thing now, as Kamiyu, Kira Summer, Jada Stone and referee Fumurin will also be joining as commentary guests. I'm honestly really excited for the show. I don't have a prediction of how the title matches can go, and the special matches in the middle of the card look like a real treat. The opening matches as well intrigue me, not just because of Andre, but how well those that did or did not make it into the Princess Cup. And I also want to make special note of the posters that TJ do for their matches on the big shows. If you have not seen them, I recommend going to TJ's Twitter and finding them. They do an amazing job of capturing the vibe of the matches. My favourite for this show being the Princess Tag match featuring artwork by My Hero Academia manga assistant Shoko Noguchi, who likes to draw Mariko in Rouge the Bat's outfit, so, you know, Chef Chris right there. Anyway, let's all have a good summer and fun watching TJ. Ta-ta.